What's going on, everybody? This video is a little late. I tried to film this while I was at work last week. I did film this last week while I was at work, but my microphone died about 2.5 seconds into the video, so the whole video was chalked. So I'm just going to do it now, recapping the week from the December 1st to December 5th. I took 2 trades last week. Both were losers, because that's how Q4 is going for the kid. But it's all good. I'm taking a break now. I'm done for the year. I'm just going to be doing some review. But first, let's go through these trades. As we know, I like to trade reversals. So this was on GJ on the 2nd. I was looking for price to come into this 4-hour imbalance, take London highs, or the previous day high here. I guess, yeah, this will be London high on the 2nd. Looking for price to take this and break down and give me a good short opportunity. Let's go down to the lower time frame here. We can kind of see this start playing out. London highs up here, giving me a 4-hour fair value gap that I'm entering off of. And yeah, this is my analysis. I woke up in the morning, I saw this, I'm like, okay, this is the trade I'm going to take. And then somewhere along the lines in New York session, I flipped up my game plan. I kind of lost discipline. And we'll see what I ended up taking here. Moving forward, it kind of got to this point where I know that GJ often in New York session respects London's high. So you can kind of expect continuations from London high to continue selling off. I don't know why, but at some point I switched up the entry I was going to take. And I broke one of my rules that I wrote down here. On my entry criteria right now is just I'm only taking reversal trades. At some point I decided, you know what? I know GJ often gives me continuations. I'm going to take a continuation from this London order block. So with that in mind, I took the trade right around here. I used this as a break of structure. This right here, we can see on the line graph, it's not terrible, but it's also not the best. We can see a low formed here and a higher high. So I got impatient, used this, entered right here from this 3-minute imbalance. And in reality, this 3-minute candle is pretty disgusting. Respected this structure here. Looks not the worst on the 5-minute, but there's no 5-minute fair value gap. So I'm in this trade. It's going well. Stop loss a little bit above the high. I'm targeting London low. And at this point, I'm laughing. And we reverse. Stopping me out for just a couple pips here. And then look what it does. Classic. Boom, full TP as soon as it stops me out for 1 or 2 pips. This is pretty heartbreaking, but this is a loss that I didn't need to take because this is a continuation trade, not a high-day reversal strategy trade that I'm supposed to be trading. Also, what I learned from this is if I'm expecting London high to hold, why am I not putting my stop loss above London high? This high is kind of insignificant. If this high up here is the one that I'm expecting price to reverse from. Sure, it gave me the entry, but it's not my main point of interest. So going forward, should I take a continuation trade again? London high has to be where my stop loss is placed. Would have avoided this loss had I done that, and I still would have got my 2R. Had I held this, I could have got 3R. Disappointing. But, I broke my rule of reversal strategy entries, and I paid for it. But I also learned London high is the one that my stop loss is going above on continuation trades if I'm taking them in the future. Here we have Thursday, December 4th. I'm getting to the charts. I'm seeing this nice 4-hour daily fair value gap above these highs. This is London high at this point that I'm expecting to get swept. Potential reversal entry out of here into this area down here where all this liquidity sits. Going down the 4-hour, we see nice relatively equal highs that could easily get swept and give me that reversal entry into this nice liquidity zone that is created from just the price action in the last day or two. So I know that there's news on this day. I can't remember exactly what it was, 8 a.m. news. So I'm waiting until after that news gets priced in for an entry. You know, I can't, due to my funding challenge, I can't be in a trade or enter or exit a trade within 2 minutes of a red folder. We had a red folder at 8 a.m. So just with my rules, I wait until news is passed, or if news is late in session, then I can trade before, but I have to exit my position before the news hits. You know, if I win a trade in news, it gets a rule break anyway, so it's invalidated. So going down to the 1 hour, we can see Asia had created this really nice session liquidity here. And, you know, this is a potential target from this short. We have the news right there that unfortunately takes out Asia low and London low as soon as New York opens here with that 8 a.m. news. So we can see what happens, and oftentimes news candles will do this. You know, news will be used to take liquidity so that the market can move in whatever direction it's originally intending upon doing. And oftentimes it snags opportunities away from the trader. I know this, and from last week's session, I was like, okay, I can't use news candles for entry anymore. They can no longer be trigger candles. I have to wait till they're really no longer valuable to current PA. So I was like, okay, I know that I cannot long from here because this is a news candle and this low is likely to be swept. So low of day entries right now into this are invalid. So price continues, and boom, here we get a sweep of London high, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's time for some shorts here. I'm waiting for the traps. I know that it might happen. And we finally get this break here, even though I'm waiting for this up here. This should have been my entry. You know, I should have been smart enough to wait for this, but maybe I got a little impatient. We see on the 3-minute here, finally a break of structure, though not the most convincing again. So I enter right here. This is where I would have entered. Is this break of structure? That's a nice break of structure on the 5-minute. We have the 5-minute fair value gap created here as well. So I have multiple confluences now, even though this is up here, I'm choosing to ignore this. And I wait for my 3-minute pullback here. Boom, got it. Right into the fair value gap, stop loss above the high. And my aim is for this news candle wick, the bottom of this. And what happens? Instantly stops me out. This is a quick loss and heads for this massive daily fair value gap that I marked out once again at the start of my session that I chose to ignore. This is 2 trades this week that I ignored my initial analysis and paid for it. So there was two things that happened here. One, ignoring initial analysis. I need to be very aware of that going forward. Oftentimes the first thing I see is the right movement. And two, has to do with news. Last week we learned I cannot be entering trades on a news candle, but also I need to be aware of where the news has taken price action. There was a clear 4-hour fair value gap here that I wanted to take this short from, but news swept the liquidity that was sitting there, and I overlooked that. I got lost in that, news candles are only important until they've been swept or price has moved away from them. So in my head, I was like, price moved away from this news candle. It's not really valid. And I overlooked the liquidity it took. The liquidity I needed for this short. So in price action doing that, it grabbed this liquidity and continued to move up. The short move had happened in news. So going forward, I need to be very, very clear. I cannot take long low of day shorts or low of day longs until something like this happens in this scenario. News candle gets swept. We break up. I get my initial entry like that. My reversal strategy, but the news candle has to be swept in order for me to take a long here. And the same thing is applied for shorts. If this is a news candle up here, I need price to sweep the high of the news candle, then break down, give me the reversal entry that I'm looking for, and break down. News candles are important and they need to be respected. So yeah, I overlooked a couple things with this trade that going forward I need to be acutely aware of. Took 2 trades this week, lost both. Q4 has been not necessarily a nightmare. I've tried to start looking at it a little bit more positively. I've learned a lot in Q4 that I get to take forward into Q1 of next year. These are, this is it. This is the process that we were talking about, being honest about. I'm going to release a video next week, just kind of going over, a little recap of 2025. I think will be good for me to see and show myself all the things I learned and all the development that happened. Maybe not with account growth, but mentally for sure. All right. See ya.